Today we will be covering Pure Earthbound, and we are kicking the video off with this duel I had against 60 card Kashtira Snake Eyes. So we start by special summoning Red Layer, using Stone Sweeper to add Groundkeeper to our hand, normal Groundkeeper. Here they chain Maxi, and we just negate it with our Ash Blossom. So now we summon Stone Sweeper, use the field spell, and now we Synchro into Charge Warrior. This will let us draw one card. So here I went for the Charge Warrior because we didn't really open any non-engine. It would have been really nice to open something like a Maxi or a Droplet just so we have more things to do on our opponent's turn. The less greedy option would have been to Synchro into Geo Gremlin instead, so this way we would have access to a quick fusion during either battle phase. So now the field spell will give us an extra normal summon. We normal summon Line Walker, and this will add Harmonic Synchro Fusion to our hand. So what this does is we can send one tuner and one non-tuner from our field to the grave, and then we get to summon one Synchro monster and one fusion monster. So we get to Synchro and fusion summon at the same time. So now we send those two to summon Griffin and Geo Kraken. Kraken will add another copy of the field spell to our hand, and Griffin will attempt to summon an Earthbound monster from our grave, but then they negate it with Valor. So if you're playing against Earthbound, try to negate the Line Walker instead, so then they wouldn't have access to, 2 free extra deck monsters. They special Unicorn, use Unicorn to add a spell card to their hand, and then we just chain Griffin. We summon back Groundkeeper, and they add Birth to their hand. Unicorn will now banish something from our extra deck, and then Groundkeeper will summon an Earthbound monster from our deck. They banish Barone, and Line Walker gets to add Synchro Fusion back to our hand. Now they use Thrust to add Talent. Talent draws 2 cards. They normal Ghost Ogre, and then they Synchro into Barone the Clerk. When our opponent summons from the extra deck, we can destroy as many monsters as they control that were special summoned this turn, and then burn them for 800 damage apiece. But obviously they negate it with Barone. And our Kraken does not get destroyed but is still negated because we have Groundkeeper that protects our monsters from destruction by battle or card effects while we have a card in the field zone, which we do, which is Earthbound Prison. So they summon back Unicorn. Now they use Barone to pop Prison. If this card is destroyed by our opponent's card effect and we have Earthbound monsters on the field or grave, we can then have our opponent's life points, and then if we do, we get to negate all of the cards our opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. Now they use Birth to banish 3 cards, but it's negated. And now they finally go into their Snake Eyes plays, which summons Ash. Use Ash to add Poplar to their hand. Poplar then gets to summon itself and then add their own field spell. Field spell activates and sets Flambridge to their spell trap zone. Link into Link Karibo. Poplar sets itself. Ash sends Poplar and itself to summon Oak. Oak summons back Ash. And now Oak sends Link Karibo and itself to summon Flambridge from the deck. And now they get set my Kraken. They link into Hita. Flambridge summons 2. And they use Hita to bring back my Red Layer. They link into Promethean Princess. And then Promethean Princess brings back Flambird. They link it off into an Amble Whale, and then they use that to go into Zelantis. And here they do make a mistake by using Zelantis' effect to banish and resummon everything. So there's several things happening there. So they made two mistakes, the first one giving us back Red Layer after resolving Zelantis. I guess they didn't realize that's how that would have resolved. The second one was giving us back Groundkeeper in face-up attack position, because since they had the Snake Eyes field spell on the board, our Earthbound monsters are once again protected by battle and card effect destruction. So I guess they had no choice but to scoop. So here is our deck list. Our main deck can be divided into three parts. Of course, we have the hand traps, we have the extenders like Red Layer, and then we have our Earthbound monsters. So we have three of them. We have Keeper, which is the level 1 tuner, Line Walker, which is level 3 tuner, and Stone Sweeper, which is a level 5 monster. Stone Sweeper can be discarded from our hand to search out a level 3 or lower Fiend tuner. So that means we can search out Keeper, Line Walker, or even Vision Resonator should we have access to the 1 and 3 already. And as you saw in the previous duel, when Keeper is summoned, we can then summon another Earthbound monster from our deck or grave to the field, and when Line Walker is summoned, we can then add a copy of the field spell or Harmonic Synchro Fusion from the deck or grave. So there's a lot of recyclability in this deck. So let me know what you think of this deck. I have a couple more replays to share, which is just, the battle of hand traps to see which one opened more, which is the current state of Master Duel anyways, so check it out if you're interested. And as always, thanks for watching.